everybody knows that all the people don't have liberties, all the people don't have freedom, all the people don't have justice, and all the people don't have power, so that means none of us do.
Jello Biafra for the Independent Media Center and the camcorder, Truth Jihad.
The only thing that's going to stop this is a militant demonstration against the city of San Francisco.
Hey, hey!
The movement is intending to fill the streets and reclaim the streets and reclaim the spaces that have been absolutely hijacked.
I think there's a lot of people here for how freezing cold it is out here. I'm really excited. I did not think there was going to be this many people. I'm just totally pumped.
Die Situation war folgendermaßen, die Polizei hat das gestürmt, wir saßen irgendwie friedlich im Kreis und haben Lieder gesungen. Die Polizei kam rein, war unglaublich aggressiv, hat uns angeschrien, wir sollen uns auf den Bauch legen und die Hände beim Kopf nehmen.
19 waren drin, ne?
Ja, 19.
Ihr spricht jetzt mit denen.
Ja, als der Ströbele reinkam, es machte erst den Eindruck, als wollte er irgendwie da jetzt noch die Verhandlungen mit Verdi irgendwie vorantreiben, aber im Endeffekt hat sich herausgestellt, er wollte nur mal zwischendrin und draußen vermitteln, was wir auch ganz gut selber hinbekommen.
Zur Durchführung polizeilicher Maßnahmen wird, wenn erforderlich, unmittelbarer Zwang in Form der körperlichen Gewalt gegen sie eingesetzt.
Zum Heinrich-Heine-Platz bitte.
In die Richtung dann.
So, bitte immer in die Richtung, Platzverweise, Richtung Heinrich-Heine-Straße. Da lang. Aus dem Norden. Hallo.
In die Richtung, immer das Gleiche. Platzverweise, langsam. Ja,
weiter.
Was trittst du denn mit deinen Schuhen los? Auch für Sie in die Richtung. Platzverweis.
Vielleicht können Sie kurz sagen, warum Sie so eine Hausbesetzung interessiert, sodass Sie mit dem Fahrrad vorbeikommen.
Ich war auf einer Versammlung der und wurde alarmiert, dass hier ein Haus besetzt worden ist. Und kurz danach, dass die Polizei das Haus am Räumen ist. War jetzt hier mit dem Polizeichef gesprochen, bin drin gewesen, habe mit den Leuten da drin gesprochen und habe mir selber ein Bild der Situation gemacht. Und würde es sehr befürworten, wenn man mit Verdi jetzt nochmal ins Gespräch kommen würde, um zu klären, dass dieses Haus, was ja offenbar, so wurde mir gesagt, seit langen Jahren leer steht, doch einer vernünftigen Nutzung zuzuführen.
Haben Sie schon was von der Freiraumkampagne gehört?
Freiraumkampagne? Nein, habe ich nicht gehört.
Das ist eine Kampagne, die eben solche freie Räume sich aneignen möchte.
Wenn tatsächlich ein Haus viele Monate und viele Jahre hier, das soll sogar 10 Jahre leer stehen, das ist ein gesellschaftlicher Missstand, den ich nicht verstehe und ich glaube, die große Mehrheit der Bevölkerung nicht versteht.
Wir befinden uns hier in Kiezen, Kreuzberg, Friedrichshain und ähnliche, die im Moment extrem von Aufwertungen betroffen sind, von steigenden Mieten, Verdrängung einkommensschwächerer Bevölkerungsschichten und ähnlichem. Es gab jetzt auch zum Beispiel letztes Jahr Nachrichten, dass bestimmte Immobilieninvestoren keine Lust haben, in Kreuzberg mehr zu investieren, weil es da doch öfter mal zu, sag ich mal, sozialen, kleineren Unruhen kommt, wo vielleicht auch brennende, teure Autos ein Ausdruck von sind.
Die Frage wäre, warum hat man sich nicht, also mit der hier so eine Bürgerinitiative beteiligt, die Sie engagiert ist,
Es geht auch nicht nur um Verdi, geht auch nicht nur um das Haus, sondern es geht auch einfach darum, quasi mal offensiv quasi zu zeigen, so wir bleiben nicht nur alle, sondern wir haben auch Ansprüche. Ne? Wir wollen nicht in einem kleinen Zimmer leben mit viel Miete, sondern es ist überhaupt nicht nötig, dass hier überhaupt quasi der Wohnungsmarkt und das Wohnen als quasi Grundrecht kapitalistisch organisiert wird. Und darum geht es auch einfach, da mal ein Zeichen zu setzen quasi und da auch mal wieder ein Klima zu schaffen, wo die Leute sich das mal ein bisschen vergegenwärtigen, wie absurd das ist. Ne? Wem nutzt das eigentlich, dass Wohnungen hin und her verkauft werden? Also denen, die drin wohnen, eben bestimmt gar nicht. Es sei denn, die haben das Geld, sich die selber zu kaufen, das sind aber die wenigsten. Und das sind eben einfach so Ziele, die wir hoffen, auch durch weitere Aktionen halt quasi in Berlin einfach wieder in den Diskurs zu bringen, sodass dann eben auch irgendwann vielleicht genug Besetzungen stattfinden. Ne? Vielleicht klappt dann eben die 10. oder sowas. Und ich glaube, das war jetzt auch ein Ziel eben, dass man quasi einfach da mal ein bisschen das Klima verändert.
Ja, und es ist auch sehr erstaunlich, wie es Verdi schafft, in ihrer aktuellen Ausgabe ihrer Gewerkschaftszeitung Verdi Publik sich zu solidarisieren mit Hausbesetzungen aus sozialen Gründen in Frankreich und dann hier eine total martialische Räumung irgendwie anzuordnen.
Es wird vermutlich nicht der letzte Versuch sein, hier leerstehende Gebäude zu besetzen. Es gibt so viele leerstehende Gebäude in der Stadt, die so sinnvoll genutzt werden könnten, als Lebensraum, als Raum für Kultur, Politik und Ähnliches. Und wir rechnen fest damit, dass es zu weiteren Besetzungen kommen wird.
A negotiator, police not wearing the riot gear. He's wearing like a hat with a little badge on it, and then. 'Cause I got you and you got me, and we are one. Well, we got life and love and hope. That's how we go. So no problem, no problem.
The organizing committee has been working for many months. All of you please stand up. Member of the organizing committee who has to be at work in about 15 minutes over at the community hospital. I'd like Bill Bates to come up. He wanted to say just a few words.
Administration and supervisors have come against us. They've given us wrong information. They have harassed us. They've told us that, we're maybe going to lose your job or these folks are going to take you in and own you or something. Well, that's not the case because the union is us. We will decide what happens. Isn't that right? Yeah. Right. So, John and this committee, all of you, you have my unending thanks for the work you've done to investigate these complaints. They've done a lot of the hard work. Don't you know, a detective is not always appreciated. But they have come and they've done this work, and now they've come to give us their result. And this is the fruit of our labor. You see, I'm wearing my St. Patty's Day. We all depend on a little luck of Irish. This is not about luck. This is about hard work. This is about sticking to it until we see a community, union organized in community where we will have to say in how things go and we will have negotiation. It's fair, it's just. It levels the playing field.
Fresno Fair Election Commission.
Employees have been told that by signing a petition, they would be giving the union power of attorney over them, that the union would sell workers' personal information, and that signing a petition was equivalent to giving the union a blank check. You can find it on page 12 of your book.
In August, towards the end of August, we contacted the Community Medical Center's board chairman, Ken Folensky, and CEO Tim Joslin. We wanted to meet with them so that we could discuss the idea of a fair election agreement. And we hadn't heard from them. September 6th, the employees of the hospital tried to deliver to Joslin a proposal for a fair election agreement and to request a meeting to discuss them, and they were actually barred from these offices. Later on in September, in a memo to employees, the management rejected the request for a fair election agreement. So in September, we met with CMC workers to discuss the principles and listen to their stories. And we've been listening to their stories and observing what's been going on for many months now.
Supervisors interrogating employees about their union sentiment. Supervisors restricted employees' freedom of speech. We all deserve freedom of speech. Supervisors used fear as a tactic. CMC administration presented misleading and distorted information to employees. The Commission recommends the following recommendations. Community medical centers should engage in dialogue with this Commission, CMC Union Organizing Committee, SEIU, UHW, to develop a mutually respectful relationship. Community medical centers should end its use of anti-union consultants and refrain from using them in the future.
Each year, about $100 million to help run the establishment from government, partly from county, partly from state, partly from federal government. So they have great responsibilities that way. The county has generally not been monitoring very strongly, although it is their responsibility to monitor the contract that still exists with the community medical centers. Good point. I think maybe some discussion with supervisors would be very helpful. There's a representative, one of the supervisors here, and we have talked in the past with some others. But coming directly from any of you, I think could be very helpful.
Despite everything, we're still going to have a union, and it's going to happen. So thank you.
A lot of people ask me why we decided to honor this building that we own, first common ground actually owned building. Why did we decide to name it the Anita Roddick Advocacy Center? In 1970, I was a member of the Black Panther Party. And as a member of the Black Panther Party here in New Orleans, I was involved in a shootout in Josiah. During the time that I was incarcerated, I met 3 beautiful young men. 2 of them is now entering their 36th year of solitary confinement. Throughout the nation, they say it's a big thing when you just do 3 years in solitary. But they have been in solitary 36 years. And they are no longer young men. But again, you might say, well, what that got to do with Anita Roddick in this building? It have everything to do with it. Because when we started the Angola 3 Support Committee, we couldn't get them classified as political prisoners. But Anita came, and she showed that she stood for peace and justice. She's not even an American. She didn't have no reason to say, well, I care about what happened to 3 black inmates in Louisiana. But she understood that when you stand against injustice anywhere, you stand against it everywhere. And she was here. And she put not only her money and her resources, but she put her whole effort in making sure that these individuals will one day reach justice. We went through the racism of Katrina and the horrors that it also brought about, and we have survived it. Now it's time for us to come together and stop becoming just a black community or a white community, but just a community. One that understands the importance of not only peace and freedom, but cultural enrichment. At Common Ground now we have served over 180,000 people in direct service, and we are steady moving forward. This legal clinic, this advocacy center, that bus will be offering free transportation to Angola on weekends. And we have accomplished this in spite of the government. In spite of them. We have yet to have any elected official to come and say, well, hey, thank you for what you have done. But now we have individuals that have came forward and stepped up, like EPCO. Like the students from Chico came here and redid Walter Goodman's house, this house here. More pictures have been taken of that house than any other house back here. The barge landed right on the side of it. But they could take pictures at a house, but they couldn't help. But our house is being rebuilt. If you go down and you see what Global Hope is doing at 1700 Desalon, where we got started, when nobody was allowed back here, Miss Dolores gave us permission to use her house. And they have done everything to make sure that she would run us out, and she stuck with us. And that's why this night ward is open. If I have any regrets, it's only that I wish that all those who helped us found Common Ground was here. That they could see what we are doing. And they could understand that regardless of what anybody say, you know, that Common Ground is not falling, but we're moving forward. We're gonna make that happen. That will be a free legal clinic. At one time, that's all we were dealing with was litigation as it relates to Katrina, but not anymore. Now we're gonna deal with litigation as it relates to our people as a whole. You're in jail and you need legal assistance, we're gonna offer it. If you're in prison and you need legal assistance, we're gonna offer it. If you need a job when you come out, we're gonna help you find a job and train. Because we know that the best deterrent to crime is employment at a livable wage. And we're gonna do it, and we're gonna rebuild this community. We're gonna rebuild it. We're gonna partnership with Make It Right. We're gonna partnership with other organizations, ACON, NINA, and any other organization. We're gonna remove our petty differences that have divided us. We're gonna make sure that never again will the ugly head of COINTELPRO keep us divided. And we're gonna make this one community. And it's so important. This house is where the first black voters registration organization was founded. So it have a history. Individuals have found refuge in this house and that house for every hurricane since '47. Don't just come out here on a Saturday with us, but come out here during the weekdays and help us. Come out here with your ideas. And let's make sure that we not only rebuild the Ninth Ward, but we rebuild it in a sustainable way, and we come back greater than it ever was before. With that, I want to thank you, and please have a good time. Calling all the people, come back home. New Orleans, where you belong. Calling all the people, calling all the people.
The living room. This whole house, we're going to use it as living space in certain area and office space in other areas.
How many people can you house here?
35, 40.
Nice sunset.
If she's down here, it would be 100% office space. All these rooms will be, except for the bathrooms, of course.
Right.
They're all going to be office.
That's the office too.
Yes, they're all going to be office. Office here.
So what are these offices going to house?
It's the media center, computer tech, and the computer center, bioremediation and community gardens, wetland restoration, and pro bono legal services. So that's all that's going to be here. All that used to be in Mid-City, and then before that it was in the Upper Ninth Ward. Well, actually 8th Ward, right on the border of the 8th and 9th Ward, on Franklin and North Robertson. And of course in New Orleans, her babies were Common Ground and the Angola 3 Defense Committee. Yes.
I don't think that there's a lot of people that really know that they can make this kind of stand against the war.
It's definitely an idea that needs to take off because we keep feeding the machine otherwise. These military-industrial complexes that we hate and we cry about all the time, but I just was trying to look at my life and make all the things that I do and what I believe in connect.
Someone my age who's maybe just coming in, or Rico's age who's just coming into the work world, and understanding that we don't want to be a part of a war system and paying into that system, but how do we do it?
We're meeting people who are, on all levels.
The greatest changes in history have only come when people are willing to put everything on the line.
A lot of it is just a symbolic kind of thing. Redirect some money into our community groups.
The whole thing is stopping business as usual. What can we do?
what is in our power to make a statement that might have some meaning and some change.
This is direct resistance to what the United States government wants me to do.
We just have to be peaceful and act in an ethical, responsible manner ourselves.
War tax resistance, it's just amazing how things that I didn't think I could do necessarily, you just do it little by little and you add on a little here, a little there, a little there, a little there, and the next thing you know, you've done something really amazing. And so that's just holds true all through life.
It isn't a painful thing, it's sort of trying to take charge of your own life.
I will not pay taxes anymore. I am tired of killing.
The horrific things that we're doing with our money breaks my heart and goes against my conscience. So I cannot, in good conscience, pay you this money.
If you begin to think about certain questions, you have to come up with certain actions.
What do we need in our lives for war tax resistance to be an option for each of us?
Time is running out.
I think that persuasive case is there now, but they're not cooperating.
Not testing whether something can be found. It's about weapons inspectors hunting and pecking all over the country.
First they said no, then they said planes only. Now we hear 15,000 troops.
Die Situation war folgendermaßen, die Polizei hat das gestürmt, wir saßen irgendwie friedlich im Kreis und haben Lieder gesungen. Die Polizei kam rein, war unglaublich aggressiv, hat uns angeschrien, wir sollen uns auf den
Da lang, aus dem Ordnung. Hallo.
In die Richtung, immer das Gleiche. Wenn wir ansammeln. Ja, das wurde ja überall weiter. Was trittst du denn mit deinen Schuhen los? Auch für Sie in die Richtung. Platzverweis.
Vielleicht können Sie kurz sagen, warum Sie so eine Hausbesetzung interessiert, sodass Sie mit dem Fahrrad vorbeikommen.
Ich war auf einer Versammlung der und wurde alarmiert, dass hier ein Haus besetzt worden ist und kurz danach, dass die Polizei das Haus am Räumen ist. Jetzt hier mit dem Polizeichef gesprochen, bin drin gewesen, habe mit den Leuten da drin gesprochen und habe mir selber ein Bild der Situation gemacht und würde es sehr befürworten, wenn man mit Verdi jetzt nochmal ins Gespräch kommen würde, um zu...
Everybody knows that all the people don't have liberties, all the people don't have freedom, all the people don't have justice, and all the people don't have power, so that means none of us do.
Jello Biafra for the Independent Media Center in the camcorder, Truth Jihad.
The only thing that's going to stop this is a militant demonstration against the city of San Francisco.
Hey, hey!
The movement is intending to fill the streets and reclaim the streets and reclaim the spaces that have been absolutely hijacked.
I think there's a lot of people here for how freezing cold it is out here. I'm really excited. I did not think there was going to be this many people. I'm just totally pumped.
Bauch legen und die Hände beim Kopf nehmen.
19 waren drin, ne?
Ja, 19.
Ihr spricht jetzt mit ihm.
Ja, als der Ströbele reinkam, es machte erst den Eindruck, als wollte er irgendwie da jetzt noch die Verhandlungen mit Verdi irgendwie vorantreiben, aber im Endeffekt hat sich herausgestellt, er wollte nur mal zwischendrin und draußen vermitteln, was wir auch ganz gut selber hinbekommen haben.
Zur Durchführung polizeilicher Maßnahmen wird, wenn erforderlich, unmittelbarer Zwang in Form der körperlichen Gewalt gegen sie eingesetzt.
Zum Heinrich-Heine-Platz bitte. In die Richtung dann. So, bitte immer in die Richtung, Platzverweise, Richtung Heinrich-Heine-Straße.
Klären, dass dieses Haus, was ja offenbar, so wurde mir gesagt, seit langen Jahren leer steht, doch einer vernünftigen Nutzung zuzuführen.
Ja.
Haben Sie schon was von der Freiraumkampagne gehört?
Freiraumkampagne? Nein, habe ich nicht gehört.
Das ist eine Kampagne, die eben solche freie Räume sich aneignen möchte.
Wenn tatsächlich ein Haus viele Monate und viele Jahre hier, das soll sogar 10 Jahre leer stehen, das ist ein gesellschaftlicher Missstand, den ich nicht verstehe und ich glaube, die große Mehrheit der Bevölkerung nicht versteht.
Wir befinden uns hier in Kiezen, Kreuzberg, Friedrichshain und ähnliche, die im Moment extrem von Aufwertungen betroffen sind. Von steigenden Mieten, Verdrängung einkommensschwächerer Bevölkerungsschichten und ähnlichem.